Hello and welcome to Brocky Mountain Movies. I'm your host, Rocky Mountain Brock, and today we talk about The Northman. Now, when I first saw the trailer, I saw a beautiful, uncut shot of the main character catching a spear thrown at him midair and tossing it right back at the person that threw it at him. And I thought, please let the entire movie be like this. Let it be that raw, uncut action. You can have your mystical elements, but let's keep the focus where it needs to be. And they didn't. So what's the main story? Retelling of Hamlet. Main character's father being murdered by his uncle. He has to kill his uncle to avenge his father. Only this time Hamlet is completely bloodthirsty. And I mean that that he is literally bloodthirsty through this entire film, which is good for action, but not the best in terms of character. So you have him going on this quest for vengeance, but it appears that he is bound by mystic forces, that he has to do things a certain way and has to accomplish things in other ways. They do mystical elements to sort of reinforce this idea of fate and what his beliefs are. It's a pretty mixed bag because sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. Sometimes they give him helpful advice, and other times it's just confusing and you're unsure of what they're actually saying. Not all of it works from either a character or a story perspective. That doesn't mean all of it doesn't work, but there are a few chunks that you can easily just cut out and you'd miss nothing. Ultimately, you get this very dark revenge movie that sometimes works and sometimes doesn't. And I will have to say, hey, Roger Eggers, I think that's how you pronounce his name, I have no idea what his actual audience is. This was supposed to be his general audience movie, and I have no clue what he's aiming at. I guess you could say that he's making movies for himself, which, good for him, but at the same time, I don't know anybody else who he's making the films for. They're way too dark, and nobody knows what he's saying with them. I guess for this movie, you could say that he's giving an authentic take on the tale, but from a general audience standpoint, it's way too dark and way too weird to be enjoyable. If I had to point out the best part, it would be that there are several nice uncut action scenes, and when the mystical elements work, they work. The worst part I'd have to say is the fact that because you picked a Nordic tale to do it with, it has very Nordic values. And the Nordic values state that the only way to get a peaceful afterlife is to die in violence. So the entire film is very dark and overly violent. And not in the fun Quentin Tarantino way. More in the Saving Private Ryan kind of way. So, final score for The Northman, it earns itself about a 6.7, and I gotta give it a thumbs down. It's got great cinematography and action, but honestly, I can't think of any real lessons to learn or any real reason to watch it. I'm Rocky Mountain Brock, and God bless.